Have you ever pictured yourself harvesting your very own honey right from your own backyard? It might seem like this super complicated, specialized thing, but it's actually way more accessible than you'd think. Today, we're going to explore the amazing world of backyard beekeeping, and we're using Helen Blackiston's fantastic guide, Beekeeping for Dummies, as our source. So let's just dive right into this step-by-step journey for anyone who's even a little bit curious about starting their own buzzing adventure.
First things first, let's get one thing straight. This is not some lonely, high-stakes hobby. No way. Beekeeping is an absolutely incredible thing for the whole family to get into. I mean, it's a chance to really connect with nature, to learn about one of the most vital creatures on our planet, and to make some seriously sweet memories together. It really sets a tone of curiosity and wonder, not fear. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. This looks amazing, but who on earth has the time for this? And that's a totally fair question. But get this. The total time commitment for a single hive is just 35 to 40 hours per year. Yep, a whole year. That averages out to less than an hour a week. The book is really clear on this. Once you're all set up, the time you have to put in is surprisingly small, which makes this one of the most rewarding, low-maintenance hobbies out there. So, to guide you from just being a curious observer to a confident beekeeper, we've broken this whole thing down into 5 parts. We're going to start with those initial questions, the what-ifs. Then, we'll meet the colony, cover all the essential gear, walk you through your entire first year, and finally, we'll get to celebrate the sweet rewards. It's the whole journey from A to, well, B. All right, let's start at the very beginning with that first little spark of curiosity. You're intrigued by the idea, but you've got questions. And hey, let's be honest, probably a few reservations too. This first part is all about answering that initial call of the hive and tackling those what-ifs right from the get-go. Let's just address the elephant in the room, or maybe the bee in the bonnet. Stinks, right? It is the #1 fear for pretty much everyone thinking about this. But the book offers some really powerful reassurance. The author says, and this is so important, that if you have a calm attitude, you'll find honeybees are just remarkably gentle. They're not out to get you, they are just focused on their work. If you learn their ways, they become these surprisingly cooperative little partners. Okay, so now that we've hopefully calmed some of those fears, it is time to meet the real stars of the show. A beehive isn't just a box of bugs. It is a highly sophisticated superorganism with an incredibly complex social structure. And understanding this little society is absolutely the key to becoming a great beekeeper. So inside every healthy hive, you're going to find 3 different types of bees, or castes, and they all look a little different. See here on the left? That's the worker. In the middle, you have the stockier one. That's the drone. And over on the right, that long, elegant one, that's your queen. Being able to spot these 3 is a really fundamental skill for any beekeeper. Now, each of these bees has a very, very specific job. The queen, well, she's the heart and soul of the colony, laying up to 2,000 eggs a single day. The workers are all sterile females, and they are the tireless jacks of all trades. They build comb, they forage for nectar, they feed the babies, and they defend the hive. And the drones? Well, these male bees basically have one mission in life: to mate with a new queen. It's this perfectly organized society where every single member knows its role. To give you a better idea of what's actually happening inside that hive, let's take a peek into their pantry. This right here is called bee bread. It's not honey, it's this fermented mix of pollen and nectar, and it is packed with protein. This is the superfood that fuels the entire colony's growth, feeding the baby larvae and the adult bees. Seriously, seeing cells packed with this colorful bee bread is just a fantastic sign of a healthy, thriving hive. Okay, so you're totally fascinated by the bees, and you're ready to take the next step. So what now? Well, now we get practical. This section is basically your beekeeping starter kit. We're going to cover all the essential equipment and the key decisions you'll need to make before your bees even show up. Think of this as your pre-flight checklist. Before you launch your beekeeping adventure, you've got a little homework to do. You need to decide on a hive style, get your basic tools like a smoker and a hive tool, choose a bee breed that's right for your climate, and, this is a big one, find a reputable supplier. Oh, and don't forget to check your local laws. You definitely want to make sure you're keeping your neighbors and the law happy. So one of your first big decisions is the hive itself. The book compares the 2 most popular types. The Langstroth is probably the one you picture, that stack of white boxes. It's standardized, so parts are easy to switch out, and it uses separate boxes called supers, which makes collecting honey really efficient. The top bar hive is a more natural design, where bees build comb hanging down from bars. It's less standard, but it's often easier if you're a DIY kind of person. Your choice really just depends on what your goals are. So, why is a well-built hive so important? Well, it all comes down to this really critical idea called bee space. It's like the Goldilocks measurement, about 7 to 9 millimeters, that bees naturally leave between their combs. All modern hives are designed around this exact space. If the space is too small, they'll seal it shut with this sticky stuff called propolis. Too large, and they'll just build extra comb in there. Either way, it makes checking on your hive a real sticky mess. It's the simple genius behind all modern hive design. Okay, you've got your hive, you've got your gear. How do you get the bees? You order a package. I know it sounds a little strange, but it's basically a starter colony in a box. You get about 10,000 bees, a can of sugar syrup for their trip, and most importantly, a queen bee who is kept separate in her own tiny little cage. This is how most new beekeepers get their start.
The package has arrived. Your heart is pounding. This is it. Welcome to what is the most critical and exciting time, your very first year. We're going to break down this super important period into a really manageable season-by-season guide so you know exactly what to do and when to do it.
Before we get into all the details, I just love this little story from the author. It's so relatable. Even the expert was nervous his first time. It just reminds us that it is totally okay to be a beginner, to ask for help, and to just take it one step at a time. It makes this huge moment feel so much more human and doable. So yeah, don't be afraid to have a friend or a family member be your mission control.
Okay, this is the main event. Installing your bees. The process is actually surprisingly straightforward. You'll want to do this on a calm, warm afternoon. A light spray of sugar water keeps the bees calm and gives them something to do. Then you'll put the queen cage inside the hive. The next step is the one you'll never forget. You literally shake the bees from their package right into their new home. It sounds crazy, I know, but they are so gentle during this process. Finally, you add a feeder with more sugar syrup, close up the hive, and just let them get settled.
Your bees are in their new home. Now what? Well, your main job as a first-year beekeeper is making sure they have enough space to grow. But how do you know when it's time to add another box? The book gives a great rule of thumb, the 70% rule. When the bees have built comb on 7 out of the 10 frames in a box, it is time to add the next one on top. It's a super simple guide that keeps the colony from feeling crowded and deciding to just pack up and leave. And this is what a thriving, growing colony looks like on the inside. You see these peanut-shaped things? Those are queen cells. When you see these, it is a powerful sign that your colony is healthy, it's strong, and it's possibly getting ready to expand by making a new queen. It is visual proof that you are doing a great job and your colony is just following its natural instincts to grow. So how does the whole year play out? This timeline gives you a really great overview. Spring is going to be your busiest season. With the colony's population just exploding, you'll be doing a lot of inspections and adding boxes. Summer is more about just monitoring their progress. Autumn is all about getting them ready for the cold months, making sure they have enough honey stored up. And winter? Your work is mostly done. The bees huddle together in this tight little cluster to stay warm, and you get to relax and plan for next year. So you've guided your colony through its very first year. You've learned their rhythms, you've watched them grow, and you've protected them through the seasons. Now we get to the final and, let's be honest, the most satisfying part of our journey, reaping the sweet rewards of all your hard work. After a whole year of learning and lifting and just watching, you're probably asking this exact question. What do you get for being a dedicated caretaker to thousands of tiny flying insects? Well, let's take a look. And here it is, liquid gold. There's truly nothing like the taste of honey from your own bees that have been foraging on flowers in your own neighborhood. It's a taste of your local environment, like a snapshot of the season, right there in a jar. And as you can see from the author's own simple label, there's this immense pride that comes with putting your name on it. And hey, if you get so much honey that you decide to sell it or give it away as gifts, the book has some practical advice. Your label should clearly say that it's honey, have your name and address as the producer, and list the net weight. It's just a simple way to make your product look professional and share your success with everyone else. But here's the crucial point. The reward is so much more than just honey. It's about these quiet moments of connection. This image of a beekeeper hand-feeding a bee just captures the true spirit of the hobby. It's about patience, it's about trust, and it's about partnering in this delicate, natural process. It's the harmonious relationship you get to build with these incredible creatures. From that first little spark of curiosity to the final sweet harvest, that's the newbie's journey. It's a path of learning, of connection with the natural world, and of some pretty incredible rewards. So the only question left is, are you ready to begin yours?